Hey everybody, this is Fritz from JAGMTE.com. Wanted to take a couple minutes today and talk to you about the 3/4 inch pour spout for the Scepter MFC, both the 2.5 gallon and the 5 gallon. There are 4 things I want to cover. I'll do it fairly quickly. I hope I don't lose anybody. If you have any questions, you can always email us at jagmte@gmail.com. First thing is spout. If you own one of these, eventually the spout is probably going to come out of the center, and that may catch you by surprise, particularly if you're fueling something and it's laying on the spout and all of a sudden it pulls out. This is really no big deal. The tube is held in the center by friction and a small amount of super glue or crazy glue or the equivalent. They obviously have a reason why they want this to be able to come out. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but if it comes out on you, you're probably going to find that there's some glue inside this hole that needs to be cleaned out. The glue is very brittle when it's dry, so it's fairly easy to break it loose and clean it out with a small straight blade screwdriver, or if you have a file, the edge of the file is generally square enough that you can run it around the inside and break the glue off. What you will find is down inside this tube there is a seat to stop the tube from going in any further, and it's about 3/4 of an inch down. Okay, one thing, there is a screen built into these spouts. I don't think you can see it on the video, but there's a screen. It's a fairly small mesh screen, and it keeps dirt and stuff from coming out of your can and into your fuel tank. But if you're like me, you're likely using it in an environment where that's not a terrible concern, and you'd prefer to have your fuel flow faster. This small mesh screen really does slow down the fuel quite a bit. So now would be an opportune time to take that screen out, which you can do from this side. Just start knocking it out. It's glued into this side, so chances are it's not going to fall out whole. You'll have to knock it out and then go in with this side with needle nose pliers and grab onto the parts that are remaining that are glued and pull them out to get it clean. But that'll improve your rate of flow significantly. So we've got those. Okay, the next thing is, actually I'll do a quick reassembly of one of the spouts to show you. I guess we'll do this one here. Once you've got the glue cleaned out of there, you want to take a knife, take the part that came out, and make sure there's no glue left on the tube anywhere. This is mostly to make sure there's nothing interfering with it fully seating when you put it back together. So we've got that nice and clean. We've got our glue cleaned out of here. Nothing that's in the way of this reseating. And what's probably going to happen when you go to push on this is you're going to push the center out of the cap. So you can take a straight blade screwdriver, put a little bit of pressure on one of the tabs that you see there until it goes under the little rim that holds it in, and go ahead and take the center out before you do it. That way when you're applying pressure you don't get surprised by it popping out of the collar that holds it on. And we'll go ahead and do this one real quick if there's enough time left on this card. Put a small bead of glue around the very end, and then wiggle it back and forth about 3/4 of an inch up. You can put a fairly liberal amount of glue, because you want it to serve as the lubricant also, for allowing it to slide all the way in and reseat all the way at the bottom. So I've got it reseated. It squeegeed a bunch of the glue up to the top, so now I kind of have a glue seal around the top there, which is fine. I leave that because it helps make it a little bit stronger. So now you've got your tube glued back on. Then you would take your collar, put it back in. Take one of the 4 notches and get it over the lip. This is all easy to see when you have it in front of you. Get over the lip that holds it in. Get one over, and then pull it back at an angle, and that snaps them all in, and you're back together and you're ready to go again. Okay, I'm told I still have time on this memory stick, so got a little bit of glue running down on this one. Wipe that off real quick before it dries. Okay, the next thing I wanted to cover is the perception of of these spouts leaking. They don't typically leak, but there is a reason why people think they do.